Well, hello folks, it's me, Greg, with another product video, something that could be very useful to those of you who have DJI Phantom 3 quadcopters. This is a battery charging hub, so you can set up multiple batteries to charge and walk away and let them charge. Before I go on, normally I don't like a video where you're just looking at the tabletop while somebody's yakking, but this week my dermatologist had a little fun with my face, so I'd rather not feature my face today. Let's look at these things on the tabletop as I tell you about this Anbee non-DJI battery charging hub. Well, you might be saying to yourself, gee, this sure looks a lot like the DJI battery charging hub that I've seen advertised. Well, it has a few cosmetic differences, and yeah, it does look a lot like the DJI version, but this is significantly less expensive. The DJI version is $90, and this one I got for about $23 through Amazon.com. What this allows you to do is take more than one battery and just attach them to this hub like this. I only have 3 batteries, so I'm only doing 3 at the moment. And then over here on this side, you plug in your just your charger that you've already been using that probably came with your quadcopter, standard DJI charger, or this is a rapid charger that comes with the advanced and the professional Phantom 3s. And then it'll charge all of these batteries in sequence. Now, some people have misunderstood the purpose of this battery hub, and they're disappointed when they learn that it does not charge all the batteries at once. What it does is it evaluates which battery already has the most charge in it, and then it'll first top off that battery, whichever one it is. Then when that one is topped off and fully charged, it will figure out which is the next most charged battery and top off that one. And then when that one is fully charged, it'll top off the next one until it's charged all of them, whether you have 2 or 3 or 4 batteries on this hub. So the advantage of that, of course, is that let's say it takes an hour to charge each battery. Instead of having to come back every hour and take this battery off of this charger, and then plug in the next one, the way you're doing it here, you can just walk away and come back, say 3 hours later, and they're all charged. And you didn't have to sit there and babysit it. And so that's nice if you're going flying in the morning. So the night before, you can just stick these all on the battery hub, wake up in the morning, they're all done. Or if you're going flying this afternoon, then in the morning, again, charge them, top them all off, and you're ready to go. Now, the fact that it costs $90 is a bit of a disincentive because, let's face it, for $90, you could just get another charger or 2 if you get this standard slower charger that comes with the Phantom standard. So if you got more than one charger, then you're going to address the issue of having it take a long time to charge the batteries anyway. But so yeah, $90 is a bit of a bite. That's why this one for $23 seemed like such an attractive deal. So I figured, hey, I'll look and see if there are any reviews online, and I didn't find any except for on the Amazon website. That's why I'm showing you this review right now. Now, a couple things to consider. You have these contacts here where you actually attach the batteries to the hub. On the DJI version, there's kind of a built-in cover that moves out of the way when you insert the battery. And when you take the battery off, this cover comes back up and protects these contacts. So here's this third-party version that doesn't have the protection of these contacts, and it does warn you in the instructions, do not touch these contacts. First of all, you don't want to get dirt, fingerprint, oil, and all kinds of mess on these contacts, which will then get into your battery, which then might affect the performance of the battery. Also, you don't want to bend these contacts and make it difficult for the battery to fit on there correctly. So that is one disadvantage, that the contacts are not covered up, and so you got to be a little bit extra careful there. Since I only have 3 batteries, you may have noticed, I've actually just taken some electrical tape, just some black tape, and I've covered up the 4th port on this because you know, I'm just not going to use it for now. So that's why as I hold this and, you know, show it to you, you're going to say, well, it looks like there are only 3 places to put batteries on here. That's because I just covered that with electrical tape. Let me quickly show you. The other day I charged all of these batteries with this battery hub just to show you how it does it. As you can see, there are some little LEDs around the hub, around near each of the battery terminals to show you what it's doing as you first turn it on. It's going to kind of go around the whole group and figure out which one has the most charge on it. And then it'll stop and start charging that battery. So in this case, you know, it took a certain amount of time to top off the battery. And then once it finished that, it went around again to evaluate the batteries, figure out which ones needed to be charged, which ones were already charged, and which one then had the most charge in it without already being fully charged. And then it started charging that battery. And you can see that the LEDs change colors, indicating what this thing is trying to do at that moment. So after some time passed, they went ahead and topped off the 3rd battery and finished that off. So that's what it did for me. The whole process took a little while for each battery, and then of course, you know, all that added up together. But during that whole time, I didn't have to babysit the batteries. I was able to just walk away and let it do all of that on its own. So let me just quickly give you one more tip. This is something I did to address what to me is the only disadvantage of having this over the DJI version. You know, how do you protect these contacts when the unit is not in use, or maybe when you're just not even using one or more of the contacts? I came up with a very simple solution, and I hope you find this useful. Just a little arts and crafts project that you can do on your own. I just took some cardstock and I made little covers, just little sleeves to put over the top of the contacts. Just, oh, careful, just like this, just slides on, come on, and there. And so now I can put this in a carrying case or put it on the shelf, or, you know, just touch it all I want, because the contacts are protected by these little covers I just made from some cardstock. And I'll show you quickly how I did it. First, I just measured the area I was trying to cover up, and I determined that it was 1.5 inches wide and 1 inch deep. So then I took my cardstock here and I measured 1.5 inches. And instead of 1 inch, I measured out to 2 inches. So let me just mark this here real quick. You may be more skilled at these little arts and crafts projects than I am. But I'm just trying to make a very useful little rectangle. There. So now I've created, and I've marked, this is 2 inches long, 1.5 inches wide. I'm going to go right down the middle of this. So now this is all marked out, 1 inch and then 1 more inch, so 2 inches total here, 1.5 inches wide this way. I'm just going to cut this out real quick. So now here's my sleeve. I'm going to go ahead and fold this right along that center line that I made. Okay, so that's not too bad. That's going to make a nice little cover. And just to top this off, because it's not really flat enough, I'm going to take some Scotch tape here, very easy to do, and just wrap this around here. And there you go. There's your sleeve. Now let's test it right here on our battery hub. There, a perfect little cover to protect. So there you go, $23 plus just a little bit of some spare stuff you've got lying around the house to make these covers. And I think you're all set. A little bit better price than the $90 version. Of course, You may decide the $90 version, the authentic DJI product is what you want to go for, and I wouldn't fault you if you did that. I'm a little bit of a cheapskate sometimes, so saving $67 was good for me. Also, you may have noticed I put numbers on my batteries, and that's a good helpful tip as well if you're going to have multiple batteries. Just, I've got little labeling stickers on them, or you could just take a marker and just, somewhere right on here, so you know which battery is which, because after a certain amount of time, you're probably going to have some batteries start to go bad on you and need replacement, and it'd be nice to just keep track of which battery is which and always know battery number 1, 2, 3, or whatever makes sense to you, so you can differentiate those batteries. That's my tip for today. Hope that's useful, and I'll see you next time.